Good morning, Independence. This is the first episode of a new series that's part of the Independent Joe Show that I'm calling 99 Days Till Super Tuesday. That's why the 99 is over here. And what I'm going to be doing is every morning I will be sitting down with you here in my kitchen having coffee very shortly after I've just woken up. I usually get up, take my dog for a little walk around the block outside. I come back in and make coffee and then sit down and start working. So I'm going to be now podcasting every morning, having coffee with you. And this section is going to be called Joe with Joe. So I hope you get that, Joe with Joe. And the second section will be Joe on the go, which will be me out doing things for the campaign in the district. Obviously, I still have to work and I have to take care of my daughter and pick her up from school and get her to things, but all my spare time right now, I am doing campaign-related activities to, try to get out in the district. So, like for example, this afternoon, I'll be going back to the elections office to be taking care of a little bit more paperwork. So I'll have you follow me with me in the truck on the way there and on the way back, and I'll be doing a few other campaign-related activities as well. I'll be documenting those in the afternoon as part of Joe on the Go. And then in the evening, I'll be sitting down with you in my living room. And not every day, but some days if something interesting happened or if I just want to talk a little bit more about something that came up, I'll be sitting down with you for the Evening Joe, which is a play on the evening show. And so the reason I'm doing this is because for the most part, people don't know who their representative is, let alone what they're like, what they stand for, or what they're trying to do out in the community. Politics has become corporatized. It's like a business now where everything is scripted from the party leadership all the way down, and then the campaign staffers, put together the messaging or whatever kind of mailers or flyers or emails that they're putting out. And it's very rare that you can hear directly from the politician themselves. That does happen at the town hall meetings, but even those are scripted because people have to put their question on a little card, and then they get sifted through for questions that they would actually want the candidate to answer. And it's a very restricted environment. So I am creating a podcast to allow the people in this district to get to know me as I'm going throughout the day. You're going to be able to see what I'm doing, what I'm thinking, how I'm feeling, and trying to break that barrier. So I expect that these episodes will be somewhere between 20 and 60 minutes long, and I'm going to try to put them out at the end of every day. So you'll be able to see what I did throughout that day. But if you want to watch it every morning and have your morning coffee with me, just wait until the next morning to watch it. Or if you're just out driving in your car or folding laundry and you want something on the background, feel free to put this on and I'll let you know what I'm doing throughout the day. So for those of you who don't know what Super Tuesday is, let me explain that a little bit. It's called 99 Days to Super Tuesday because Super Tuesday, which is March 5th this year, is the day that the primary election is going to be held. So everybody knows what the general election is. That's the big one. That's every November. And, it's one that gets all the news coverage for weeks leading up to it. Super Tuesday is the primary election where here in California, we have what's called an open primary, and all of the candidates that are running for every position will all run off against each other in order to narrow down that pool for the ballot in the fall. And so I just pulled up the FEC's website here, and so far in this district, there are 7 candidates that have entered the race for the U.S. House of Representatives. There's the Democrat incumbent, there are 3 Republican candidates, there's a Green Party candidate, someone with no party affiliation, and which is basically an independent, and then me, and I'm listed as an independent. And so all 7 of us will be on the primary ballot on March 5th, and then the top 2 vote getters will then be on the ballot for the general election. And on Super Tuesday, it's a little bit bigger this year. I think I also pulled that up, there are 14 states that will be holding their primaries on Super Tuesday. And that day is big because, for example, for the Republican nomination for president, that is a day where 14 states will have a combined, I think about 1,357 delegates that will be allocated between them. And after that day, we should pretty much know who's going to be the Republican nominee for president. And it'll also be interesting to kind of see what happens with the Democrat side, because nobody really knows what's going to happen yet. If somebody else is going to enter the race, or if essentially nobody's going to challenge Biden. And I'm curious to watch what happens over the next few months as that evolves as well. So anyway, that's Super Tuesday, and every single day I will be sitting down with you here in the morning, Joe on the go in the afternoon, and then the evening Joe, if anything interesting happens throughout the day. And this is, again, just to break down the barrier, to help you get to know who I am as a candidate, and because there's no reason why we shouldn't be using these social media tools to build better relationships with the voters in our district. And when the U.S. House of Representatives was started way back in 1789, there were only about 8,000 voters per representative. Now that number is over 700,000. So the relationship between the representative and the people of their district is much weaker than it used to be. And I'm going to use social media tools to try to strengthen that bond again. And as far as I know, there's no other politician that has done anything like this. And I have no idea how it's going to go. None of this is scripted. I just have like a few notes, what I'm going to say, and talking points that I want to make sure that I don't forget about. But instead of being scripted and corporatized like all the politics now, this is going to be extremely unscripted, as you can tell. And I'm probably going to be really terrible at it at the beginning, but I hope over time it'll get better and more interesting. And so this is the 99th day before Super Tuesday, and I will see you this afternoon, probably in my truck. Hey, it's Joe again. I am driving on my way to the elections office to take the next steps to run for the U.S. House here in California's 10th District. And I first want to apologize for the shakiness of this video. I'm going to try to edit it out in the video editing software, but if I can't, you might just want to listen to this and not watch it, because I don't want anyone to have a seizure. I don't yet have a setup to record while I'm driving that absorbs the vibration so the phone doesn't shake as much. So I literally just have the phone on one of my little tripods here, and the tripod is taped to the screen that's on my dashboard. So that's why it's so shaky. But I'll try to edit it out. So anyway, I'm on my way. Last time I was there, I think was at the very end of September, to just talk to them and see what was involved in running for office. And they had given me this information packet at the time, which pretty straightforward, explains everything that you need to do. And then also at the time they handed me these signature pages, because the way it works is that you have to pay a filing fee, and the filing fee is equal to 1% of the salary of a member of the House of Representatives, so it ends up coming to $1,740. Or you can collect 2,000 signatures to get that filing fee waived. This is a petition in lieu of signature, or in lieu of filing fee. But there's a caveat to it. Number one, you have to collect 2,000 signatures. So basically that would come out to about 87 cents per signature. But number two, you have to get every one of these pages notarized. And there are only enough slots for 10 signatures on each one of these pages. And a notary is probably going to charge you, I don't know, between $4, $5, $6, $7, $8 per page to notarize them, which means that you'll end up spending 50, 60, 70, maybe even 80 cents per signature anyway. And then to collect 2,000 signatures, let's say I was extremely optimistic and I could collect 20 signatures an hour, which is one every 3 minutes, which is optimistic because they have to print their name, sign it, write their address in. To get 20 a person every 3 minutes to do that, I don't know, might be pushing it. So anyway, even if I were to collect 20 an hour, it would take me 100 hours to collect 2,000 signatures. So I decided that I'm just going to pay the filing fee and then allocate
allocate those 100 hours to doing things that will help the campaign long term, and that's what I did. So I'm going back to the elections office today to number one, give them the check for the filing fee, and then I think I'm also going to be signing what's called a declaration of candidacy, which is just the official form saying, yes, I'm running for office, and I have to sign it there in front of them. I suppose if you didn't have to sign it in person, then you could have people putting other people on the ballot without them even knowing. Be like, oh, hey, by the way, cousin or friend, I signed you up. You're running for the House of Representatives in the district. You'll be on the ballot on March 5th. Good luck. I wouldn't want that happening. So I'll be doing that today. And then I will also be getting the nomination papers. So if you don't do this, if you don't collect signatures, then you have to get the nomination papers and then have 40 to 60 people sign the nomination papers, which is essentially the same thing as this petition in lieu of filing fee. Just says that they would support me as a candidate if I were running for this office. And then the last thing that I think I'm doing today is getting the ballot designation form, which is the form where you tell them what your title is or what title you want to be on the ballot. So for example, if you're the incumbent, you always put incumbent so that people know you're the current office holder. It gives you a huge advantage for just getting elected again. If you're a teacher, if you're a city council member, on mine, I'm going to have business owner, maybe small business owner because I own a small business. Yeah, and then I think also on that form, which I'm going to ask them about today, is I have to eventually fill out a little blurb, paragraph about who I am and why I'm running for office that will go in the voter information packet that gets sent out, which probably not too many people read, but some do. I've talked to a couple of people and they spend hours doing their diligence and reading through everyone's statements and figuring out who they want to vote for, and that's great. Like I really respect people who do that. I've done that in some elections, but others I have not read through all of the candidate statements. So that's where I'm off to, and just about to get up to the exit here to turn off. So I will let you know how it goes. So I am leaving the elections office much faster than I thought I would be. This is the Contra Costa County elections office in Martinez. This is where I had went originally to get the signature pages, the petition for signatures. But, and I know that the guy had probably mentioned this to me when I was when I came in the first time. Because I live in Alameda County, I have to go to the Alameda County Elections Office to sign the official declaration of candidacy. So California's 10th district includes part of Contra Costa and a little tiny sliver of Alameda County, just basically right around Dublin, which is where I live. But I guess according to state law or regulation, because I live in Alameda County, even though I'm running for all of District 10, I have to sign the declaration form at the Alameda County Elections Office. And he said that I can get the ballot designation stuff there. And apparently, because Contra Costa has their ballots, and then Alameda County has their ballots for the statement of information that will go into the voter information packet, I have to fill out a separate one here for Contra Costa, and then another one for the little sliver of Alameda County that I will be also registered in. So yeah, a little bit of extra work because the district is split between Contra Costa and Alameda counties. But anyway, I'm leaving Martinez now, and I'll be on my way to the elections office in Alameda County, which is in Oakland. So it'll take me about a half hour to get there. I can still do that, still get back, get some work done this afternoon before I go grab my daughter from school. Yeah, so that's where I'm off to next. Hey, it's Joe again. I just left Oakland, the Registrar of Voters office. The guy there was super helpful, super nice. filled out all the preliminary forms, signed them, and then got the nomination papers, which is where I have to collect 40 to 60 signatures of people who are registered in the district, registered to vote in the district. And because the district is split between Alameda and Contra Costa counties, any signatures I collect from Contra Costa County I have to bring back to the elections office in Contra Costa, which is where I was this morning. Any that are in the Alameda portion I have to bring back here to Alameda County's office. So a little tedious, but I guess the state does that because the first step is for the registrar of voters to verify those voters' signatures in the county that they're registered in. And then they send it all up to the California Secretary of State. But paid the filing fee, got receipts for all of that. So I got all the information for the ballot designation and the little information section that will go in the voter information booklet for Alameda County, but I have to do that separately for Contra Costa County. So I guess when I turn in the signatures into Contra Costa's elections office, I'll grab those forms there and then fill them out. And that is it for all the technical work today. I'm just going to go back, get a few things done, and then I'll be back to working on some other campaign stuff later today. I will talk to you again soon.
Welcome to the Evening Joe. This will be the set, at least for the time being. As you can probably see, I've got a couple of Christmas trees up. It's tradition that every year I buy 3 trees, a big white flock tree, the pink flock tree, and then the blue flock tree. So the big white one is for me, the pink one is for my daughter, and the little blue one is for our dog Carrot, who's actually sitting down on the beanbag. She's supposed to be over in her bed, down there, but she always just migrates over to the, I guess, bigger, more comfortable beanbag. You can say hi, Carrot? There. Yes, you're making your debut on the Evening Joe right now. Are you aware? Do you know what's going on? So anyway, I will, the reason why the big white tree is not up is because I made the mistake that you're not supposed to make when you get a Christmas tree, which is to get one that is too tall. And I knew it was going to be very, very close, and it was off by about 4 inches. So luckily it has like a big kind of spike thing at the top, and I don't need it to be that tall, and I don't put a star on it anyways. So I'm going to take a couple inches off the top, and then probably a couple inches off the trunk, and then maybe it'll be up tomorrow or the day after. And the other Christmas decorations will be coming in short order as well. So I don't have too much more to say about what happened today with all the election stuff. It was pretty straightforward. I explained it all in the truck. But I will mention that very shortly, probably maybe later tonight, depending on how late I'm able to stay up, or tomorrow I'll put a section on independentjoe.com where you can ask questions that you'd like me to answer. And you can also do that by just posting a comment in whatever platform you're viewing this on. The full content of these shows will be up on YouTube and Rumble, because those are the 2 platforms that can handle the length of the show and the file size. The other platforms I have to cut because they don't handle the full length of the show. So I'm still gonna figure out exactly how I want to clip up the content and present it on the different platforms, because all of them like different things and different clip lengths and things like that. So anyway, if you haven't been onto the website, I would encourage you to go on and also subscribe for the newsletter, because it's the only way that I can communicate with you directly. And I just send out a weekly Independent Joe newsletter where I post all of the content that was created in the past week, just so you don't miss anything. I also give a little preview of what I'm hoping to post in the coming week. And then I also make a few other special announcements, and any events that will be coming up, I'll be sure to send out in the newsletter as well. And then of course I'm going to ask you to interact with the channel, because I've already spent a lot of time, and I'm going to spend a tremendous amount more time trying to rewrite the book on how members of Congress represent their districts. And I'm also trying to break the 2-party system, because to me, that is the source of our country's problems and is the source of our decline. And unless we can fix that, then we're not going to move forward and in a good direction.
And so if you support what I'm doing, if you support this kind of content, if you support this kind of a representation and interaction with the members of the district, then subscribe if you haven't already, like things, share things. And while I'm hoping that this district will be the one that sets the precedent for getting an independent, newly elected to Congress for the first time in 33 years, my ultimate goal is to get that to spread and for what I'm doing to be copied by people across the country, because if we can get 20 or 40 or 80 independents into Congress, then our entire political system will work much better and things will finally begin to turn around and we'll put ourselves back on the path that we should be put on. So anyway, if you support what I'm doing, just keep interacting with the channel. Feel free to ask me questions, and I will see you again tomorrow morning for more Joe with Joe.